My own family has written to me, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I want you to think about things this way. Look, there are so many ways this whole world can come apart. We are looking at a very, very fragile situation all over the world. It's not just America. This is happening all over the world, especially in the West. There is a feeling in me, a friend said to me, don't run away from something, always run towards something. And you'll know when it's time to find that thing, or that thing will appear, when the seasons change. He said, watch the leaves on the trees, and you will know when the seasons change. I will tell you that I think we have hit a season change. I've been feeling it this last week and a half, that something is different, and it's a season change. We're entering a new phase. So some of the things that I would suggest you do, some may dismiss, but I will tell you, we are fighting evil now. We are. And evil it's just rearing up its head, and it thinks it's going to win. It doesn't know what's coming for it, but it thinks it's going to win. I know how it ends. We all know, if you're a Christian, we all know how this ends. It's just, which side are you going to be on? And it's going to be very easy to get lost and get swept up into things. So let me give you a couple of things that we should be doing. First of all, pray. You should be praying and reading your Bible every day, and be on your knees asking for guidance. And listen and obey that still small voice that you hear. There's nothing more important than that. Get into groups and neighborhoods that think alike. Find a group of friends that maybe will join you on this path. And you can help each other. We are going to need each other if we're going to survive. If you are all alone, move. Don't be the only person that is in your area and you're feeling alone. Get out. Find like-minded people, because the seasons have changed. When you're preparing, think about the community as a whole. I have a small town in Idaho that I just love, and I moved there because it's a small town, and they're all farmers, and farmers know that they're going to have to take care of each other. And right now, we are doing things as a town, like we're building a smoker, because we know if there's a shortage of meat, and let's say there's a shortage of power, and power keeps going in and out, there's going to be a shortage that we won't be able to deal with. So let's go learn how to smoke meat so we can smoke some beef and store some beef if it gets to that point. We didn't have a warning in 1929, really. It was the Roaring 20s, and then maybe a couple of years into it, a couple of years before 1929, some signs started to appear. But it was a pretty fast crash. We've had almost 2 decades to prepare. So there's no excuse here. We have the warnings. You're either listening to them or you're not. And if you're not, man, there are less stressful shows to listen to, honestly. Prepare now. And here's a couple of things you can do. At this point, I would make sure that I had a week's worth of cash on hand. Why? Because if I were Vladimir Putin and we started getting hit financially, I would unleash my team of hackers and I would shut down oil pipelines. I would shut down the access to our banks. I would disrupt through hacking as much as I can. He said World War III will be fought with ones and zeros. I don't know how prepared we are for that, but he's very prepared for that. So we should be. This isn't an attack against just the government. This is an attack on us. Make the people as miserable as possible. So we could see in very short order banking holidays. It would be rational. If somebody is attacking our financial systems, then they got to shut them down for a while, and it would cause great instability. Do you have enough money just to be able to buy the things that you would need to buy so life is okay during a banking holiday? You might want to have more than that. Fill your gas tanks and keep extra gas in gas tanks. There will be shortages. Keep them tapped up so if you needed to go someplace, you can go. Call your oil heating company and tap your tank off if you can. Gas for heat and cooking. Get those tanks filled now. It'll be cheaper now than later, but also you want to make sure if there is any disruption, you're not going into it with half a tank. If you fill your pantry, you will thank me in a year. If you go out and buy food today, you will thank me in a year, because inflation alone is going to go through the roof. It will. If you can get vegetables and even can them out of season, but you can get them now, I would get them and can them. They're going to be harder to get. The price of fertilizer and just having a farm is going through the roof. These things are going to be more scarce next year. If you can, I would have a year's worth of food supply for my family. And if I really had money, I would plan for others as well. We are going to need one another. And that's why I say be in these communities, because somebody's going to have something that you need, and they're going to have something that you need, and you're going to have something that they need. Begin to think this way. Really, really important. Watch the other hand. This is a very dangerous and fragile time for freedom. Look how fast Canada called people terrorists and shut them down. This is going to happen while we are not paying attention or for some other reasons. It is vital that you get involved in your local and state politics. You call your state reps and tell them to stop ESG standards from being used in your state. It is so important. These standards are pretty much what the Canadian government is doing to the truckers. Get your state to pass a law also against a single Fed coin. I'm going to give you a story here that I can't believe we missed in June 2021. The Bank of England, that's their Federal Reserve. The Bank of England has called on ministers to decide whether a central bank digital currency should be programmable, ultimately giving the issuer control over how it is spent by the recipient. Tom Mutton, the director of Bank of England, said during a conference on Monday that programming would become a key feature of any future bank digital currency, in which the money could be programmed to release only when something happened. You can introduce programmability. It happens to be one of the participants in a transaction. It puts a restriction on the use of that money. There could be some socially beneficial outcomes from that, preventing activities which are seen to be socially harmful in some way. This is what they were talking about 2 years ago. If you don't think that digital currency is coming, you're mistaken. It is right around the corner, and it could be something like what could be coming in response to Putin and our cutting him off on the banks. He will respond, I believe, in ones and zeros, and then the government will have its new virus. It'll be a computer virus, and they'll have to protect us and shut things down. Get your kids out of school if you can, but local schools, if you have to have the local school, make sure you know all about it. Again, if you're the lone voice, move now. If you are joining the truckers here in America, make sure you are not following a leader. Make sure you're following God and the peace and actions of Christ. Get the Martin Luther King Pledge of Nonviolence and get everyone in that group to sign it. If they will not sign it, you may be in the wrong group. Between real crazies who want to burn the entire thing down through war or chaos, plants from the left who are Antifa, and the fact that media, the Capitol Police, and the FBI actively, in one way or another, want to define us as terrorists, be very, very, very careful. Look how fast it happened in Canada. Remember, chaos is from the adversary. It is what I believe Putin is creating now. I think he's doing it intentionally, but I could be wrong. That's only a guess. We are not asking for chaos. We are asking for a return to order, the constitutional order. That is really an important difference. If we can just keep our heads about us and not freak out, if we can have faith that we have God guiding us, and if we live righteous lives, if we are people of merit, as George Washington said, he will see us through. I expect miracles to be seen in your time, in your life. You will see clear hand of God miracles if you haven't already. Billy Graham was right when he said, God's doing stuff with people all over the world. And one of these days, he's going to turn on the lights and it'll be a surprise party for Satan. And you will see that the solution could only have come from God, because it's all of these individual people standing up. I was talking to Stu yesterday about people actually having dreams or hearing from God. I think that is a growing thing. Don't dismiss those promptings. Don't dismiss them.